We've all seen them, right? Those online deals that feel just a little too generous.
Oh, absolutely. Like that whole situation with Kikonat.com recently.
Exactly. And today, we're not just going to talk about one store. We want to really get into it.
Hmm.
Our mission is to take what our sources have compiled and build, a universal checklist.
A kind of escalation path, really.
Yes, an escalation path for vetting any new online store before you even think about checking out.
And what's so fascinating is that the very first WUD flags are often the easiest to spot.
But the easiest to ignore, I bet.
That's the thing. We can start with what we call the price test.
Okay.
If you see an expensive product, let's say a high-end electronic, and it's being offered at this huge, way lower than average discount.
Right, compared to everywhere else.
Yeah, compared to established retailers, that should be an immediate flashing warning sign.
And why is that specific tactic so common, the price manipulation?
Well, it's because scammers are counting on that impulse buy, that, fear of missing out.
FOMO, yeah.
Exactly. But you also have to look beyond the price tag itself. Look at the visual quality.
The photos.
The product images, yeah. Are they blurry? Are they obviously low resolution? Or do they look like they were just, I don't know, copied from Amazon?
Just lifted from somewhere else.
If they look lifted, it strongly suggests they aren't actually holding or photographing any real products.
Okay, so once we've passed that visual test, the next layer is often hiding in plain sight, the whole corporate identity.
Mm-hmm.
This checklist isn't just about the products, is it? It's really about checking if the company itself even exists.
You're basically looking for proof of life.
So where do we start with that?
A trustworthy store needs to have corporate transparency. So you start with the About Us page.
Right.
You're looking for real company information.
Thanks.
Business name, a physical address, and some kind of history of how long they've been operating. If that page is vague or just missing,
Then stop right there.
just stop right there.
But I've seen some of these sites list an address. I look it up on Google Maps, and it's like a real building. How do I know it's not just some random office they picked?
That is a great question, and that's where the next step comes in, the contact reliability check.
Okay.
Look at their listed contact methods. A working phone number is good, but the email address is often more telling.
How so?
Legitimate businesses almost always use professional domain emails. If their main contact is a free service like Gmail or Yahoo,
I see.
and you couple that with a sort of vague address, you've probably found a phantom storefront.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so now let's talk about external validation, because a site can build any kind of facade they want on their own pages.
Right.
How do we actually check what the rest of the world thinks of them?
A trustworthy site needs that history, that external validation. You can never, ever rely on the reviews posted on their own website.
Because they're so easy to fake.
Incredibly easy. You have to go outside. Look at platforms like Google Business Reviews, or Trustpilot, or maybe SiteJabber.
But hold on. What if it's a brand new startup? A legitimate one? They might not have many external reviews yet.
Yeah, that's possible.
So how do you tell the difference between an honest lack of history and an actual scam?
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial step. You have to check the site's age.
The domain age.
Exactly. Use a quick domain checker tool online. If a site is offering these crazy discounts, has hardly any external reviews, and the domain registration is, say, less than 6 months old, the research is very clear. You have to be extremely cautious. Scammers just don't invest in long-term domains. They plan to abandon them as soon as the complaints start to build up.
So the takeaway here is really clear. Before you ever shop, you follow this path.
Mm-hmm.
Check the price and the photos, verify the company's proof of life, and then confirm their external reputation and history.
It's research that will save you so many headaches. But, the research also points out that if things do go wrong, there are still steps you can take to try and recover your funds. And that raises a really important question for you to think about.
Okay.
Beyond all this prevention, what is the value in knowing your next steps for recourse? For instance, how essential is it to understand the mechanics of trying to get a refund if you think you've been scammed? It's really the difference between feeling helpless and actually having a plan.